I suppose our specialisation is very, very early startup. People with clever ideas that no one else is listening to and no one else is mad enough to fund. One of the startups that we've been involved with was a company called Star Syringe. It's how I originally met my business partner, Animatrix. I was a trustee for a children's charity to do with safe injections in the third world. And there's a problem in the third world with needles being used up to 30, 40 times. So people go with all the best intentions of getting their children vaccinated against polio, and they could come away with HIV or something. And it's a real sort of, it's almost like Russian roulette because you don't know which syringe is being used. A guy had invented a thing called an auto-disable syringe. And it seemed to everybody, it just seemed, well, fantastic. This syringe can only be used once. You put the syringe, as you put the plunger down, it will snap when you pull it back up again. It's totally useless, can't be used again. And so for inoculations and things in third world countries, you knew the doctors had to get another syringe out. So he took it to all the big pharmaceutical companies and not one of them wanted to use it. So we just got a very negative from a lot of pharmaceutical companies on a product that we thought was a slam dunk. Well, why wouldn't this work? So we ended up going to the WHO. We got a directive passed now 3 years ago. And now the WHO will only purchase auto-disable syringes. Now the WHO fund 75%, one way or another, either directly or indirectly, all syringes that are used for vaccinations in most third world countries. So if they're saying that, the big pharmaceutical companies are stuck. And one of the pharmaceutical companies that had turned us down came back and is now a distributor of a licensee on our product. The individual that invented it is a guy called Mark Koska. He's a guy that can wake up in the morning and know that he's probably already saved over 1 million lives with his invention. There is now a directive that means that over the next 5-10 years, they'll eventually get to a point where there are no single-use syringes being used in vaccinations in the third world. And that's a big change. And that wouldn't have come about if you hadn't had someone funding a small business, because the big pharmaceutical companies wouldn't have done it. It would have just, we had an offer for an acquisition that would have just gone in the drawer.